Good evening, and welcome to the Universidad Europea de Madrid. My name is Alan Palmer, Director of Academic Orientation, and thank you for joining us in this international open house event live from our campus of Villaviciosa de Odón. Students attending this evening, choosing a degree and a university can be extremely challenging, and we encourage you to explore a wide array of options. After all, the 4, 5, or 6 years of undergraduate studies entail much more than simply attending classes, studying for exams, carrying out projects, and writing theses. But rather, your university experience should provide you with a platform to grow, mature, participate in extracurricular activities, find your calling, network, and forge lifelong friendships with classmates and professors. In this virtual event, we hope to shed light upon the Universidad Europea de Madrid, explain our wide portfolio of bachelor's degrees taught 100% in English, provide an overview of campus life and culture, detail the admissions process, and answer any questions you may have in our Q&A session to follow. All with the goal of helping you in your research to find the university that best fits your personal needs and promising future. So you may be wondering, where exactly is the Universidad Europea de Madrid, and what's the campus like? Well, founded in 1989, we are a private international university whose main campus in Madrid is located 15 kilometers to the southwest of the city center within the quaint town of Villaviciosa de Odón. Although, do note we have a smaller, more boutique-style campus located in the north of Madrid in Alcobendas. However, the Spanish capital is not our only base, as we also have campuses in Valencia and the Canary Islands in Tenerife, and it doesn't stop there, as we are currently in the process of opening additional campuses in Malaga, Alicante, as well as a third Madrid campus called the Creative Campus to open next year for our students of design. Nevertheless, regardless of which campus you carry out your studies, our university emphasizes experiential learning, or learning by doing. How do we accomplish this? Well, a large portion of our degree's curricula take place outside of the traditional classroom, within our on-campus laboratories, workshops, simulation zones, as well as in real-life professional settings, thanks to the numerous agreements and relationships we've forged with multinational companies, institutions, and hospitals where our students carry out their curricular internships. We also foster a multicultural environment in which almost half of our student body is international. So while we are on that topic, I am aware that many of you will be departing your respective home countries and relocating to Spain to embark on this new chapter, which, albeit exciting, can seem a bit scary. As a foreigner myself, that is one thing that you and I will share in common. Having lived, studied, and worked in Spain for nearly a decade, I also look forward to talking about the reality of relocating to Spain, living in the vibrant capital city, and forming part of this distinguished university community. While I cannot guarantee that your university experience will always be easy, I can guarantee you this. Upon graduating from the Universidad Europea de Madrid, you will spring into the world with a more globalized, digitalized, sustainable, and entrepreneurial mentality, ready to face the many challenges of tomorrow. For example, digital transformation, data analysis, sustainability, social equity, and so much more. We thoroughly hope you find this event both insightful and beneficial as you research the various options of which university do I choose. In the following short video, the rector of the Universidad Europea de Madrid, Dr. Elena Gazapo, will explain our academic model in more detail.
Hola. Mi nombre es Elena Gazapo, soy la rectora de la Universidad Europea de Madrid y quiero darte las gracias por estar con nosotros en nuestra jornada de puertas abiertas. Sabemos que estás en un momento muy importante de tu vida. Estás a punto de comenzar una nueva etapa, un futuro que comienza en la elección de universidad, ya sea para cursar una titulación de grado o un ciclo formativo de grado superior. La Universidad Europea está formada por una red de instituciones presentes en Madrid, Valencia, Canarias, Oporto y Lisboa, que comparten una visión única, la visión One University. Con más de 25 años de trayectoria, 25.000 alumnos y más de 80.000 egresados, proporcionamos a nuestros estudiantes una educación integral, formando líderes y profesionales preparados para dar respuesta a las necesidades de un mundo global, para aportar valor en sus profesiones y contribuir al progreso social, siempre desde un espíritu emprendedor y de compromiso ético. Nuestro compromiso con nuestros estudiantes se sustenta en un sólido modelo académico eminentemente práctico, que permite conocer la realidad profesional en un entorno global y multicultural, donde más del 30% de los estudiantes son internacionales y con acuerdos de intercambios y prácticas en más de 70 países. En la Universidad Europea de Madrid contamos con una amplia oferta formativa en la gran mayoría de las áreas de conocimiento, con más de 200 grados, ciclos formativos de grado superior, posgrados y programas de la Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea. Nuestra comunidad docente permanece en constante contacto con las profesiones para garantizar una formación a la vanguardia de las necesidades del mercado laboral, lo que se traduce en más de 6.000 acuerdos de colaboración con empresas y con elevadas tasas de empleabilidad cercanas al 90% y con rangos salariales un 40% por encima de la media de universidades privadas. Este contacto con las profesiones también se pone de manifiesto en nuestra oferta académica, en permanente actualización para responder a las necesidades profesionales en diferentes áreas como educación, ingeniería o comunicación, por nombrar algunas de ellas. Además, en los últimos meses ha quedado de manifiesto la importancia del cuidado de la salud como elemento clave para la sociedad. Por eso apoyamos el concepto One Health, una sola salud, una estrategia global que defiende que la salud humana y la salud animal son interdependientes y están vinculadas a los ecosistemas en los que coexisten. Lo concebimos y lo implementamos a través de una nueva propuesta formativa que incluye biomedicina, veterinaria y medio ambiente y sostenibilidad. En la Universidad Europea queremos acompañarte en tu viaje y lo hacemos a través de nuestro modelo académico de aprendizaje experiencial HighFlex, que tiene un enfoque eminentemente práctico que te permitirá adquirir los conocimientos, las competencias y valores adecuados para el desarrollo de tu futura profesión, así como afrontar los retos de la transformación social y digital. Un viaje de aprendizaje en el que contarás con las mejores instalaciones, equipo docente y tecnología para que aprendas haciendo, enfrentándote desde los primeros años de formación a situaciones simuladas y reales del día a día de las profesiones. Un modelo que te permitirá ganar horas de vuelo gracias a la última tecnología en laboratorios y entornos virtuales, contando siempre con la cercanía y la dedicación constante de tus profesores. ¿Quieres saber cómo es el día a día estudiando en la Universidad Europea? Tendrás a tu disposición un campus seguro con magníficas instalaciones y laboratorios como Industria 4.0, que cuenta con las principales tecnologías como Internet de las Cosas, ciberseguridad, sensores o Big Data, entre otros, para garantizar un aprendizaje basado en proyectos con el estado del arte de la cuarta revolución industrial. El Human Performance Research Lab, un espacio de última generación para el aprendizaje transdisciplinar sobre los beneficios y usos del ejercicio físico en la salud y en el rendimiento de las personas. O el hospital simulado, para que puedas practicar con las situaciones que viven los profesionales sanitarios, pero en un entorno seguro. El elevado número de profesores que siguen el ejercicio profesional, cuya enseñanza está directamente relacionada con su experiencia laboral, te garantizan una conexión con el mundo real desde el primer año. Además, contarás con aulas dotadas con la última tecnología y podrás hacer uso de diferentes herramientas digitales como entornos de simulación, gamificación, laboratorios virtuales y contenidos digitales de alto valor añadido. Todo ello accesible también fuera del horario de clase para maximizar tus horas de vuelo. Y todo esto en el entorno de nuestros campus seguros, en los que podrás participar en múltiples actividades y exprimir al máximo la vida universitaria. Toda nuestra comunidad universitaria te está esperando para acompañarte en este viaje donde la educación personalizada, el conocimiento humano y la tecnología más avanzada se dan la mano. Te dejo con los equipos de facultades y escuelas que te van a mostrar tu día a día desde las áreas de conocimiento.
Studying at the Universidad Europea entails a rich international experience from day one. Of our approximately 30,000 students, 42% are international, coming from 122 nations, making our university one of the most diverse and multicultural in Spain. We also proudly offer internship and training placement opportunities in more than 40 countries so that students can break out of their comfort zone and engage in professional networking on a global level. Since our founding, approximately 95,000 students have graduated from the Universidad Europea between our 3 campuses in Madrid, Valencia, and the Canary Islands. Fortunately, 90% of our alumni secure employment within their first year of graduating, and 25% of them are currently working and practicing their respective professions abroad, outside of Spain. Now, we know that employability is important to you, which is why we strive to bring you as close as possible to the professional world from day one. As I mentioned, we have signed agreements and built enduring relationships with approximately 14,000 companies and institutions worldwide, where you as a student will get that practical experience working hand in hand with a reputable professional of your field, be that an architect, an aeronautical engineer, a professional sports team manager, a psychologist, a dentist, a CEO, etc. As previously mentioned, our academic model centers upon experiential learning, or learning by doing. We invite you to take advantage of our pioneer facilities, where you will carry out coursework in environments that recreate professional spaces with the highest precision, allowing you to learn in a safe way as a preliminary step to professional internships. Now, these spaces are accessible even outside of class hours, so that you can continue practicing and polishing your skills as much as you need. In this learning methodology, you will learn collaboratively from our expert faculty who are up to date with the latest trends in technology. It's worth noting that 80%, so 4 in 5 out of our professors, are active professionals within their fields, so you always have a close link to the professional world from day one. I would now like to explain our degrees taught 100% in English within our faculties here at our campus of Villaviciosa de Odón. So let's start with the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. But before diving into the individual degrees, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of this faculty. With more than 5,500 students since its creation and 25% of international students, the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences contributes to the development of each individual's potential to improve people's health and overall quality of life. As part of its facilities, the Universidad Europea has 2 simulated hospitals that allow students to learn all about clinical practices in a truly authentic setting. In these spaces, the possibilities are endless. We can simulate to precision anything from an intensive care unit, an operation room, a delivery room. In fact, we even have a robot named Rufina who gives birth. Of course, the simulated hospitals possess all the necessary bells and whistles of any major hospital, but in my opinion, the true differentiating aspect of this facility is the ability to work as a team with different health professionals. For example, it's quite common for our psychology students to work collaboratively with our medical students in this space. That multidisciplinary aspect of health sciences is truly at the heart of our simulated hospitals. Additionally, we offer state-of-the-art structure and function labs filled with anatomical models and virtual reality glasses that allow students to enter any bodily system on the molecular level, as well as our avant-garde dentistry laboratories that facilitate that experiential learning. Now, after gaining crucial experiences within our simulated settings, our students then treat real-life patients in hospitals, clinics, and laboratories in the final years of their degree. It's worth mentioning that we often receive excellent feedback about our students as they show up to the first day with experience handling patients. They show initiative and enthusiasm as well. So let's take a look at the different degrees. In this faculty, you can study the following bachelor's degrees 100% in English. The first I would like to point out is our bachelor's degree in dentistry, which is also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. The Universidad Europea has trained top-notch dentists, orthodontists, and oral surgeons since 1996, thanks to our latest technologies such as our simulated hospital, preclinical dentistry lab, and smart lab, in which students employ unique virtual reality simulators, experiencing sensations almost identical to those they will feel with a real patient. Now, this degree entails 5 years of studies. The first year, students will explore the basic sciences of anatomy, biology, chemistry, and genetics, whereas the second and third years, the curriculum focuses more on medical pathologies, orthodontics, endodontics, root canals, and oral surgery. After acquiring all the skills needed to treat real-life patients, in the final 2 years, students will complete 900 hours of internships within our university dental clinics located in downtown Madrid. Please note that our university dental clinics receive over 94,000 consultations and perform over 160,000 treatments a year. I'm actually a patient of those dentistry clinics myself. Now, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in psychology. Within our 4-year psychology program, you will gain a deep understanding of human behavior to help improve our global society. Similar to dentistry and other biomedical and health science-related degrees, the first year provides students with a strong theoretical base within the fields of biology and anatomy. In the first year, our students also attend seminars with leading psychologists from different areas: prison psychologists, military psychologists, clinical psychologists, hospital psychologists, as well as experts in human resources. Our degree has a strong practical approach, given that starting your third year, you will carry out internships in external centers and learn all about patient care in institutions and psychology clinics here in Madrid. All in all, you will complete more than 600 hours of internships, after which you will feel 100% comfortable treating and diagnosing patients in a real-life setting. But don't worry about attending real-life patients starting your third year, as you will have ample experience working with our actors within our simulated hospital your second year. Our actors can play the role of patients with a wide array of pathologies, from schizophrenia to a panic attack to an eating disorder, or even a patient with a terminal disease. Now let's take a quick look at our bachelor's degree in biotechnology, which is also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. What I love most about this degree is that it is very wide in scope, allowing students to gain experience in various fields, all with a strong entrepreneurial approach. You will learn all about the pharmaceutical industry at large, as well as the latest technological advances in bioscience. Thanks to our innovative curriculum, you will acquire the skills needed to develop and improve the design of, for example, new drugs, food products, or the bioremediation of contaminated environments, among many others. The Universidad Europea students also enjoy privileged access to the main research centers in Madrid, like the CSIC, the Carlos III Health Institute, as well as the Paraplegic Hospital of Toledo. So that will conclude our degrees offered in English within our Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. Students, please, if you have any questions about any of these 3 degrees, please feel free to ask us in the live chat, and we'll be happy to answer those in the Q&A session following the presentation of the degrees. But for now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of STEAM. So, if you're passionate about building, constructing, planning, drawing, giving form to objects, and physically transforming the world around us, the Faculty of STEAM is right up your alley. The university schools of engineering and architecture train competitive professionals with an international and interprofessional approach through project-based learning and hands-on experience with leading companies in the sector. Fortunately, we provide our students with cutting-edge facilities such as our Digital Fabrication Laboratory, or Fab Lab, our design-oriented classrooms, our wind tunnel, as well as a wide array of workshops for testing and manufacturing mechanics, materials, hydraulics, sculptures, among others. It's also worth mentioning that the Universidad Europea is the first private institution to achieve the NAAB International Certification from the United States of America. This certification evaluates and recognizes international architecture programs of particularly high quality standards, equivalent to programs in the United States and Canada. We are also the only Spanish university validated by the Royal Institute of British Architects, the RIBA, since 2019. Now, this is without doubt the most prestigious association of architects in the world. We also boast agreements with reputable international universities, such as the University of California in Irvine, as well as with prominent companies such as Airbus, Iberia, Repsol, Siemens, Altran, Bosch Security Systems, among others. Outside of the classroom, students have the opportunity to participate in university clubs like our Formula WIM race cars, Robotics Club, Design Club, Air Division Club, which launches satellites into space, Computing and New Technologies, just to name a few. All the clubs are 100% comprised of students with the support and guidance of our highly qualified teaching staff. So in this Faculty of STEAM, which by the way stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, arts and mathematics, you can study the following English taught degrees. So let's first delve into our bachelor's degree in fundamentals of architecture, which entails 5 years of studies. As I mentioned, the Universidad Europea is the first university in Europe to obtain the NAAB and the RIBA international accreditations, which will make it easier for you to practice your profession in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. You will also utilize innovative technologies of BIM, which is Building Infrastructure Modeling methodology, digital manufacturing, and virtual reality. And you will work in innovative laboratories such as our Fab Lab, our digital design workshops, our BIM classroom, and our rendering farm. In fact, our students complete more than 3,600 hours within our workshops, which truly sets us apart from other universities. As we move into the future, the field of architecture faces new horizons and many challenges, like sustainability, energy efficiency, urbanism, and smart cities, which are highly integrated into this avant-garde curriculum. Now let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in aerospace and aircraft engineering. In this degree, you will learn how to design and manage aircraft manufacturing projects, calculate orbits, use avionics hardware and software, ensure air safety control, control satellite missions, and monitor aeronautical systems. Students will utilize all of our top-notch facilities, including our wind tunnel, as well as our Fab Lab and materials resistance laboratories. Throughout the degree, students also have the opportunity to collaborate in world-renowned projects like Flying Dreams, designing and constructing a handmade aircraft without the use of a motor. It's quite challenging. Last year, our students ended up as finalists within the Fly Your Ideas competition organized by Airbus, with whom we have a really important agreement. In addition to this project, our students can also participate in our Air Division Club, in which team members have collaborated with SpaceX to launch satellites into space. So lots to get involved in as far as extracurricular activities are concerned. Now, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in industrial systems engineering, specifically at the mechanics track. Since its origins in the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century, the 1860s, 1870s, the engineering field has paved the way in humankind's ingenuity, creativity, and problem-solving skills. Now you can join the fourth industrial revolution, which is currently booming and needs the best professionals to keep moving forward. Starting from the fundamentals of sciences like physics, chemistry, and mathematics, you will acquire all the mechanical knowledge, such as resistance of materials, machine design, and manufacturing, which will allow you to participate in the manufacturing of any mechanical product, from the simplest to the most complex and delicate systems you can imagine. Once you have completed your degree in mechanical engineering at the Universidad Europea, you will find opportunities in a number of sectors, including the automotive industry, logistics operators, the food industry, structures, material processing, industrial chemical sector, the industrial installations. The list goes on and on. As far as our computer engineering degree is concerned, please note that 100% of our students secure employment within the first 6 months of finishing their studies. We're really, really proud of that. During your degree, you will acquire the ability to design and program all types of complex systems, such as robotics, big data applications, artificial intelligence systems, and communications and cybersecurity. You will also learn in facilities such as the network laboratories, the XR lab, augmented reality lab, our robotics and electronic laboratories, the tech factory, and even the simulated hospital. Aside from these facilities, you will also train using Vanguard systems like IBM Azure, Google Cloud, or Office 365 solutions. The Universidad Europea also has its own cloud where you can access these programs outside of our campus from the comfort of your own home. Lastly, I would like to point out that students can get involved in a variety of clubs related to this field, like the Computer and New Technologies Club, the Robotics Club, or the Game Studio 4.0 Club. The last engineering degree we will cover this evening is our bachelor's degree in civil engineering, for those who aspire to transform the world around us and our urban settings, constructing bridges, tunnels, highways, high-speed rail systems, improving renewable energy, public transportation, etc. We pride ourselves for being the first university in Spain to have a BIM classroom where you can carry out complete projects using this methodology that our architecture students also use. In addition, you will experiment in geology, hydraulics, and material and soil mechanics laboratories. And within our Fab Lab, you can produce and build your own prototypes. As a competitive civil engineer, you will find employment opportunities in construction companies and a wide array of sectors, including infrastructure, renewable energy, urban planning and transportation, as well as in public administrations. Now let's move on to our bachelor's degree in physics. During the first 2 years, students will study the basic principles like fundamentals of physics, mathematical analysis, chemistry, linear algebra, analytical geometry, mechanics and waves, thermodynamics, as well as electromagnetism. Then, at the start of your third year, you can choose to specialize in one of the 3 subjects. The first being computing and data analysis, which focuses on quantum technology, as well as many other innovative subjects. The second being materials, in which you will put into practice your tissue physics or nanotechnology subjects within our materials lab. Or lastly, electronics, which is the most traditional and versatile branch of applied physics. Within this track, you'll learn how electronic instrumentation works in practice. In your fourth year, students, of course, complement all of their studies with curricular internships in reputable companies like Airbus, IBM, Deloitte, Iberdrola, or Bosch Security Systems. To conclude our faculty of STEAM, which again stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics, let's now delve into our bachelor's degree in data science, taught in the most advanced facilities and laboratories here on campus. The aim of this degree is to train future mathematicians with a global vision of computing, calculus, and business as a data scientist. You will acquire top-notch training in the operation, development, design, and administration of mass data systems and analytical functions applicable to multiple industry, energy, education, industry, mathematical engineering, and research. Students attending this evening, please note that companies and institutions are on the hunt for profiles and skilled in data analysis and crunching big numbers. So this degree in data science certainly beholds a very, very promising future. We will now move on to our creative campus, where our design students will study and train starting in September of 2024. But before explaining this state-of-the-art campus, we would like to now show you a short video. We are currently working on a video in English, which will be ready for our next virtual event. However, in the meantime, we will show you the Spanish version so you can catch a glimpse of this amazing campus, all of its facilities that will be in store for next year.
¿Eres un espíritu inquieto? Para ti nace Creative Campus. Un espacio efervescente de innovación, diseño y creación. Tecnología, diseño y creatividad ya no irán por separado. Nosotros ponemos los medios, tú la imaginación. Ven a estudiar las disciplinas que marcarán el futuro. El talento sale de tu inspiración y circula por tus manos. Aprende creando. El protagonista eres tú. Encuentra trabajo en aquello que sueñas. Interactúa con profesores, artistas, diseñadores, profesionales y desarrolla tus proyectos en empresas punteras. En el corazón de Madrid, el motor creativo de España. En Creative Campus descubrirás un entorno diverso, internacional y multicultural. Una tribu de jóvenes como tú. No mires el cambio, sé parte de él.
So there you've seen a short video of our creative campus. We're very, very excited about its opening and inauguration in September of 2024. Located on María de Molina Street, right in the heart of Madrid, the Universidad Europea's creative campus will produce the next generation of graphic, digital arts, product, interior, UX, animation, video games, and fashion designers. We will equip our pupils with the skills required to face the global challenges generated by technological, ecological, social, and economic change, ensuring they're able to propose innovative, bold, fair, and sustainable solutions that improve the lives of people, society, and the future of our planet. With more than 5,000 square meters of high-tech facilities, the Creative Campus will offer digital and construction laboratories, simulation areas, state-of-the-art classrooms, exhibition and meeting spaces where students, together with our expert faculty members, will engage in experiential and project-based learning opportunities. Students can test, experiment, prototype, invent, and imagine beyond the limits of the classroom, acquiring the transdisciplinary skills and knowledge required to become the best agents of future change. IADE, IADE, and the Universidad Europea have partnered to provide the best educational offer in the areas of fashion design and interior design, with a wide range of official undergraduate, postgraduate, and master's degrees offered both online and on campus. Now, let's take a quick look at our bachelor's degree in design, which will be offered from this campus. Training as a designer allows you to create projects that will influence the way in which we interact, experience, and live reality at all levels. Design has become a true benchmark of strategic business culture as well. At the Universidad Europea, we train designers at the highest level through an active experiential learning methodology in connection with architects and many other professionals within the art, creativity, and innovation industry, with a very international approach, of course. So that will conclude our degrees of design, engineering, and architecture here at the Universidad Europea, as well as physics. And we'll now move on to the Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication. But first, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of the day-to-day life within this faculty. So now let's take a look at our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication for our future business partners, brand ambassadors, entrepreneurs, diplomats, and audiovisual multimedia professionals. I would like to start by pointing out that the Universidad Europea is the first Spanish university to receive the prestigious ACBSP accreditation for our bachelor's degree in business administration and our bachelor's degree in marketing, which recognizes the quality of our training programs. We boast numerous partnerships with companies, institutions, law firms, and NGOs worldwide, like RTVE, Mediaset, Telemadrid, Repsol, Zeppelin, and Google. We also forge relationships and signed agreements with leading international universities such as the London School of Economics, the University of California, Berkeley, for study abroad opportunities, among many others. Students can put their knowledge into practice thanks to our professional laboratories, including our television set and green screen. We're actually live right now from our TV set here on campus, as well as our financial hub, our business consulting lab, our international negotiations lab, as well as our simulated courtroom that you've had a chance to see in the video. So within this faculty, you can study the following degrees completely in English. Let's first take a look at the world of business. Of course, for any business-related degree, you will gain a deep understanding of the various procedures and departments of any healthy business. For example, management, finance, communication, marketing, accounting, and strategy, all with an emphasis of developing your emotional intelligence, public speaking, and active listening skills. All of our business students work on projects within our consulting lab. Let me explain our consulting lab. This is a physical space and it's also a concept. So essentially, the Universidad Europea collaborates with multinational companies that present us with ongoing issues or challenges that they're facing. So, guided by a professor, our students work together in the consulting lab to analyze the issue and create solutions. In the 2022-2023 academic year alone, so last year, our business students collaborated in over 1,500 projects, among them for BMW, in which our students created a social media campaign for this world-renowned automobile manufacturer. Our business students also have the amazing opportunity to participate in extracurricular activities like our Capital Markets Club or Crypto Club, as well as our Digital Business Week, in which our university hosts a week of conferences and workshops and analyzes relevant challenges of the future, like digitalization, cybersecurity, data lifecycle, artificial intelligence, sustainability, and employment. So now let's take a look at our global bachelor's degree in international business. In this degree, you will learn how to identify and use the key levers that facilitate business success in a truly international environment. My favorite aspect of this degree is that students are required to study abroad in both their third and fourth years, being able to choose from more than 100 destinations thanks to the agreements with the best universities in Europe, North America, and Asia. In your fourth year, you will study in exclusive destinations such as McGill University in Canada or the University of California, Berkeley in the United States of America. Students can also choose to study a double global bachelor's degree in international business and international relations, which entails 5 years of studies. Let's move on to our bachelor's degree in business administration. So students studying this degree will employ a methodology that places the student and his or her passions and talents at the forefront. First, you will learn about the realities of business, attend conferences and seminaries, visit companies, and carry out workshops. Then you will work in virtual simulation environments, and after acquiring all the knowledge and skills you need, you will work on real projects in our consulting lab for companies guided by our professor, like I explained earlier. You may be wondering, what is the difference between international business and business administration? Well, to put it simply, international business provides more emphasis on legal components and the macroeconomic environment, while business administration tends to focus more on microeconomic matters. So they are similar, but there are a few slight differences. So now let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in business analytics, in which students acquire the analytical and management skills needed to succeed in the various departments of any company. Designed by active professionals and managers of companies that apply big data to their business strategies, like Google, ING Bank, Toyota, and Accenture, this curriculum entails 4 years of studies and provides the student with a hybrid profile between a traditional business profile and a technical profile that focuses on mathematics, business intelligence, statistics, and programming. Now, I'd like to share a few fun facts about big data. Did you know that 98% of the world's data has been generated in just the last 2 years, and 99.7% of all the stored information is yet to be accessed? So, the future is extremely bright for professionals skilled in data analysis, which affects society in practically all sectors: biochemistry, health, logistics, tourism, security, and even teaching and education. As we conclude our strictly business-focused degrees, let's delve into our bachelor's degree in economics. This degree prepares you to be an economist of the future within a fast-paced international environment, developing the analysis and synthesis abilities and learning to use the latest technology and innovation. We are proudly partnered with Repsol, Accenture, McKinsey & Company, Bankinter, Kia, and many others, where our students can carry out their curricular internships as well in their final year of studies. In order to understand, so you to get an idea of how important this degree is, in order to understand the aforementioned disciplines, business administration, international business, and business analytics, we truly need professionals trained in economics, as it serves as the base and foundation for the global economy at large. We will now depart the world of business and move on to our global bachelor's degree in international relations, also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. By studying this degree, you will become an expert in diplomacy and gain a firm understanding of how sovereign states, NGOs, interest groups, banks, and other international entities communicate with one another, all from a very international political, economic, social, and legal perspective. You can participate in our Model United Nations, or International Relations Club to deepen your knowledge of international affairs, and you can enjoy studying abroad your entire fourth year at the prestigious University of McGill in Montreal, Canada. So, if you envision yourself participating in internships within the United Nations or the European Union, or collaborating on a Spanish diplomatic mission abroad, perhaps the Global Bachelor's degree in International Relations is for you. As we conclude the presentation of this specific faculty, let's take a quick look at the world of communication. Our bachelor's degree in advertising trains top-notch professionals to understand the mindset and demands of the consumer and to create a strategic plan to penetrate any type of global market. Our curriculum entails subjects like neuromarketing, big data, new business models, psychology of the consumer, market research, event planning, as well as usability design or trend research. But let's not forget about the importance of creativity and imagination required within this field. Students will learn how to apply their creativity to make their target market or clientele fall in love with any given product. Lastly, I would like to highlight an amazing opportunity for our advertising students called Pitching Minds, which entails an elite group dedicated to advertising creativity. The selected students, guided by our professors, attend national and international advertising festivals. To date, the Universidad Europea is the most successful with over 50 awards and distinctions. So we're very proud of that. So now let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in media studies. Just so you get an idea of the traction that this field is gaining on the world stage, did you know that in 2021 and 2022, videos represent more than 80% of the content generated on the internet? This degree aims to train future professionals to work on diverse audiovisual products on any platform and in any medium: cinema, television, radio, video games, and the internet. The curriculum includes subjects such as motion graphics, infographics, data processing, transmedia narrative, app design, gamification, and entertainment formats. So, if you envision yourself on the big TV screen or working behind the camera or behind the scenes, I suggest you research this degree in more detail. Plus, you will get to train and polish your skills in our avant-garde multimedia facility called Europea Media, which is replete with a TV set, which is where I'm live from at this very moment. We also, on the other side of the camera, we have a really cool green screen. We have editing rooms, digital imaging, and photography labs. The list goes on. Finally, let's discuss our bachelor's degree in marketing. This program helps students acquire the knowledge, abilities, and skills needed to respond to the challenges that companies and institutions are currently facing. Neuromarketing, e-commerce, big data, and digital ecosystems are now key subjects that you should master if you want to opt for employment opportunities in this new digital economy. Throughout the 4-year bachelor's degree in marketing, you will take part in more than 400 hours of internships and work placements at leading companies, obtaining the skills needed to succeed and networking with experienced industry professionals. So that will conclude our presentation of our degrees within the realm of social sciences and communication. Students, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Please send your questions in through the live chat and we will be happy to answer those in the Q&A session to follow. So now please sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video of our Faculty of Sports Sciences, the last faculty we will discuss this evening. Did you know that the newspaper El Mundo and the prestigious Shanghai ranking consider our Faculty of Sports Sciences one of the best in Spain to study physical activity sciences and physical therapy degrees? In fact, the Edu Universal ranking places our MBA in sports management within the top 50 worldwide. Here at our campus in Villaviciosa de Odón, we boast approximately 35,000 square meters of state-of-the-art sports facilities, including 9 tennis courts, 4 paddle courts, a rock climbing wall, a beach volleyball court, a track and football field, a 500 square meter fitness room, our Human Performance Research Center, where students carry out research projects related to biomechanics, physiology, and vision. And we also have 2 semi-Olympic sized swimming pools, one exterior and another indoor. Do note that we are the only university in Spain that has its own climatized 25-meter swimming pool, so you can continue to swim even in the winter months. We are also proud members and partners of Real Madrid, thanks to our Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea, which provides our students with the opportunity to specialize in a specific area of the sports sector, thanks to our wide portfolio of master's degrees taught from our campuses here in Villaviciosa de Odón, as well as in Alcobendas. So here in this faculty, you can study the following degrees 100% in English. First, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in physiotherapy. I would like to point out that this is the only degree in Spain accredited by the World Confederation for Physical Therapy, and the Universidad Europea has been named the best private center and the second best in Spain for studying this field, according to the 2022 ranking in El Mundo newspaper. From their first year, students complete more than 700 hours of practical on-campus simulation coursework within our simulated hospitals, our Human Performance Research Center, and classrooms specifically designed for physical therapy. Then, starting their second year, students complete 1,200 hours of clinical training within a physical therapy clinic. Our graduates have secured highly sought-after positions within the realms of sports, neurology, cardiovascular, and respiratory therapy, as well as traumatology, oncology, pediatrics, as well as geriatrics. It's also worth noting that over 75% of physical therapists are self-employed. So a large portion of our graduates go on to becoming leading entrepreneurs, opening their own clinics and serving as the captain of their own ship. Let's take a look at our global bachelor's degree in sports management. So this degree is geared towards that student that loves the world of sports, but doesn't necessarily envision herself or himself playing or training professionally. So if your passions entail creating your own brand, overseeing the construction of sports facilities, specializing in sports publicity or journalism, managing a professional club, sports federation, or sports company, perhaps this degree is for you. We want you to have the profile that managers in the sports industry are looking for: a high-quality university education, a broad business vision, versatility, and an international mindset. The aspect I love most about this global bachelor's degree are the travel and study abroad opportunities. In your second year, you will embark on immersive experiences within the sports industry here in Spain. While the third year, students learn about the management of world-class events in a corporate trip to New York City, the Big Apple. And finally, in their fourth year, students experience a full year studying abroad in the United States at the prestigious New Haven University in Connecticut. So yes, you are required to go abroad your fourth year. Lastly, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in physical activity and sports sciences. This degree aims to prepare students to become leading professionals within the world of fitness and health. The first 2 years, students will choose a total of 8 sports. For example, basketball, soccer, handball, golf, cycling, swimming and aquatic activities, judo and martial arts, winter sports, or volleyball. Then, in their final 2 years, students will specialize in either soccer, football, or basketball training. In parallel to their studies, students also obtain a certified personal trainer, and they also become a certified strength and conditioning specialist, which are accredited by the world-renowned international entity, the NSCA. So within 4 years, you get a bachelor's degree as well as 2 really prestigious accreditations. So students, that will conclude our degrees that we will discuss this evening. If you have any questions about these degrees, please send those in through the live chat. We'd be happy to answer those coming up. And now my colleague and friend, Mauricio Padilla, a dedicated enrollment advisor at the Universidad Europea de Madrid, will now go over our admissions process and scholarship programs. But prior to that, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video about our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón.
Hello and good evening to the students and families attending this evening. Alan, thank you for the introduction. Indeed, my name is Mauricio, a new student enrollment advisor at the university, and I would like to touch upon the admission process. First, I would like to mention that the application window for this upcoming 2024-2025 academic year is currently open, and we encourage you all to participate. The first step will be to establish contact with one of our dedicated enrollment advisors, who will be your main point of contact throughout the admission process, up until you're registered for classes. We will assign you an advisor that is a true expert in the degree of your choice, answering any questions you may have and providing you and your family a campus tour of our installations. Your advisor will give you access to your pre-student portal and send you your online admissions test, which consists of, irrelevant of your degree, professional skills and ability tests, which will evaluate, for example, how you work in group settings, how you make decisions, your level of empathy, self-motivation, etc. A written interview comprised of 5 questions in which you will need to respond as honestly and detailed as possible. Lastly, all students, regardless of any previous official language certificates they may have, will need to take a Spanish level exam and an English level exam. These are 50 minutes in duration and contain a grammar, listening, and reading section. Kindly note that if your maternal language is either Spanish or English, you will not need to take that specific test. Upon completing your online admissions test, our selection committee will evaluate your results and within about 48 hours relay your admissions status to your advisor, who will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If admitted and the Universidad Europea is the right fit, your next step will be to reserve your place within your pre-student portal. This will, 1, guarantee your spot within your bachelor's degree. 2, allow you to proceed forward with your registration process. 3, permit you to apply for scholarships and, of course, provide you peace of mind knowing that you are officially off to university in the fall of 2024. There are a limited number of spaces per degree, so it is my recommendation to start the process as soon as possible. Now, as Alan mentioned, the Universidad Europea de Madrid offers a competitive scholarship program that provides financial aid to our students of high academic and athletic performance. Kindly note that within our webpage, you will find numerous scholarships. However, I would like to highlight 2 that are applicable to our international students. The first is the Beca de Excelencia, or Scholarship of Excellence, which is awarded to those students of high academic standings whose annual household income does not exceed 100,000 euros a year. This scholarship covers 3,000 euros of your tuition annually, and do note that you can apply for this scholarship between March 16 and July 16, 2024, only if your reservation fee has been paid. You will submit your final high school grades throughout our scholarship online portal, and any applications submitted after July 16 will not be considered. The second plan is the Plan Compite or Plan Compete, granted to those incoming scholar athletes of particularly high athletic performance. These candidates must accredit their athletic standing within the last year through the Ministry of Federation of Sports within your home country. This scholarship will cover 30% of your tuition, excluding the reservation fee and file opening fee. And yes, you can apply for both scholarships. And if granted both, the student will receive the one that is most financially beneficial. Lastly, I would like to point out that for all incoming students for our 2024-2025 academic year, we do have an early enrollment discount of 50% in the reservation fee this month and the month of December. The discount applies to all of the aforementioned degrees with the section of dentistry students. Now, if you have any questions about the admission process, the admissions test, or scholarship programs, please don't hesitate to ask us in the live chat, and we will answer in the Q&A session to follow. Now, I'll leave you with my colleague Alan, again, who will tell you about living in Spain.
Thank you so much for your expertise, Mauricio. Prior to moving on to our Q&A session, I would like to touch briefly upon the experience of living in Madrid, particularly for those interested students that will be relocating from another country. As a US citizen, originally from Memphis, Tennessee, I've had the fortune of calling Madrid home for going on 10 years now. So Madrid is Spain's main cultural and business hub, abundant in world-class museums like the Prado, the Reina Sofia, and the Thyssen, sports venues, awe-inspiring architecture and monuments, parks and green spaces, and houses the headquarters of countless multinational companies, institutions, and hospitals. Madrid is an extremely welcoming city as well, and boasts a street life, vibrancy, hospitality, and overall quality of life that comes second to none, in my humble opinion. Located in the geographic center of the nation, Madrid is well connected by air and rail to all corners of Spain and other major European cities. Thanks to our high-speed train system, we are just about 2.5 hours from Barcelona, Valencia, Sevilla, and Malaga, and about 6 hours driving from Portugal's two major cities, Lisbon, the capital, and Porto in the north. Not to mention the day trip excursions from Madrid are endless. For those nature enthusiasts, Madrid is just a 45-minute drive from the Sierra de Guadarrama, a towering mountain range that bisects the Iberian Peninsula. And for those history buffs out there, we're just an hour's drive from the medieval towns of Toledo, Segovia, and Avila. Madrid has a mild, dry, and pleasant climate year-round, although it's quite chilly now and from December until February, and hot, and I mean really hot, in the months of July and August. As far as living situations are concerned, we do offer 2 on-campus student dormitories called Velázquez and Picasso that are managed by a Belgian company called Xior, that's X-I-O-R. These dorms offer 4 categories of rooms: a shared room, an individual comfort, an individual premium, and an individual deluxe. Included in the price are breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, a weekly room cleaning, and a sheet wash. Amenities include dining halls, study halls, a movie theater, and a terrace. Not to mention, Xior residents are also automatic members of our sports club, gaining unlimited access to our sports facilities and group classes. Additionally, there are ample student residences within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón, just a few minutes from campus by bus, if you're interested in exploring other nearby options, of course. However, I know that there are some of you that wish to live right in the middle of the hustle and bustle, right in the heart of downtown Madrid, and fortunately, the campus is well connected by public transportation. The commute from Madrid's Príncipe Pío station to our campus takes approximately a half hour. And aside from public transportation, our university provides our own transportation with buses departing from Moncloa 6 times a day. Comes right here to campus. So regarding health insurance, you do have a lot of options at your disposal. However, according to their prices, coverage, and overall quality of doctors and healthcare staff, we at the Universidad Europea would recommend Nueva Mutua Sanitaria, whose contact information you will find there on the screen. Lastly, regarding your student visa, please note that we will provide you the documentation needed to file for your visa through the Spanish embassy or consulate in your home country once you have confirmed your place and paid your reservation fee for this upcoming academic year. So we hope you enjoyed this short video about our university clubs and extracurricular activities before opening the floor for Q&A.
La vida universitaria te está esperando. Sabes que cuentas con más de 25 clubes donde puedes desarrollar todas tus habilidades y además conocer personas con tu misma afición.
¿Te gusta diseñar y construir objetos? Te invito a que te unas a los clubes de Fórmula, Robótica, Informática, Ciencias, Física, Game Studio o Air Division. Además, estos equipos participan en competiciones a nivel nacional e internacional, representando a nuestra universidad.
Tal vez te interesen actividades más culturales, así que puedes apuntarte al club de cine, al de teatro o al de fotografía.
Seguro que tienes el talento necesario.
También tenemos clubes para quienes quieran divertirse con juegos o deporte, como el club de eSport, el entrenamiento, club de rol o ajedrez. Jaque mate.
¿Eres trotamundos? Entonces tus clubes son o Relaciones Internacionales o Modelos de Naciones Unidas, que van a encuentros internacionales y nacionales. De hecho, este año fueron a París y a Dubái para representarnos.
En cambio, si lo tuyo es medicina, odontología, fisioterapia, psicología, biotecnología o ingeniería biomédica, contamos con agrupaciones para titulaciones específicas.
Estás a la última en todo, entonces no puedes perderte clubes como Pride
O podcast.
Y si aún así no encuentras un club que te interese, puedes crear uno nuevo.
So students and families attending, we will now open the floor for Q&A, for questions and answers. Within the live chat, you are free to ask us any questions you may have about each degree, the admissions process, our campus, living in Spain, etc. My colleagues or myself will answer each in order of reception. Now, we are happy to answer any and all questions now, but please note that tomorrow we will get in contact with you over email to send you the electronic brochure of your degree with the tuition fees, and we will assign you your very own dedicated enrollment advisor that will lead you through the process. So I do see that quite a few questions have rolled in through the live chat. I'm going to answer each in order of reception. So the first question is, do you have students from India? Yes, we do have students from India. We have students from 122 nations around the world. We are the most multicultural and diverse university here in Spain. Next question. In which language can you study physical therapy? So this is the only degree that we offer here in 3 languages. So about 40% of our academic profile is offered, all of our academic profiles taught in Spanish. About 40% is taught in English and Spanish, and physical therapy is taught in English, Spanish, and French. So we have a lot of French students that come here to study physical therapy. Great question. Here we have a question from Rohit. Thank you so much for connecting with us this evening, Rohit. And this is a question, what is the difference between biomedicine and biotechnology? Are they the same? Do they entail the same years of study? Are there common subjects? So I would be happy to answer that question. So they are similar. I would say that they're cousins. However, biotechnology is wider in scope, whereas biomedicine focuses more specifically on the human body. So areas of emphasis within biomedicine would be curing cancer, designing and improving drugs to combat cancer, Alzheimer's disease. You study vaccines and their secondary effects. You also study, big data, basically anything that has to do with the human body. Whereas biotechnology, yes, does touch those fields. However, you also study environment, veterinary studies as well. So it's a little bit wider in scope. Biotechnology. And biotechnology has a little bit more of an entrepreneurial spirit to it as well. And you really learn about the large pharmaceutical industry at large. So great question. They're both 4-year degrees. We both have internship agreements with leading laboratories around the world. And with both degrees, you have access to all the major research centers here in Madrid. Like I said, the Paraplegic Hospital of Toledo, as well as the CSIC, as well as the Charles III Health Institute. So you can access these laboratories and centers outside of your class hours. Great question. So we have another question. Is it possible to access the university through study recognition? Yes. So we do have a lot of students that transfer, that start their bachelor's degree in another university and would like to finish their studies here at the Universidad Europea. So through our platform online, you can request a validation of credit study. So we have a team here that will require all of the study plans, all the curriculum of all the different subjects that you've studied within your degree at the university that you're currently studying in. They will evaluate all the content to see if it shares a resemblance with our degrees here, with our subjects here, and they will let you know how many credits you need to complete here at the Universidad Europea in order to obtain your degree. So yes, it's a very common here as well. Great. So we have another question. In which language can you study biomedicine and biotechnology? So biomedicine is taught in Spanish, whereas biotechnology is taught in Spanish and in English up here starting in 2024, 2025. And here's a question from Jim Power. Jim, thank you so much for connecting with us this evening. Can you advise on the cost for the degrees for design for an Irish student? Are there grants available for Irish students? So Jim, like I mentioned, tomorrow, one of our enrollment advisors from the Creative Campus will get in contact with you. They will send you the electronic brochure of your degree, and they will send you the tuition fees for our degree in design. So you will have to wait until tomorrow, and we will send all that information over to you by email. We do have scholarship and financial aid opportunities for international students. Like my colleague Mauricio went over, we have the Scholarship of Excellence, which will take into account your high school grades, as well as your annual household income. And Jim, if you are a high performance athlete, we also have the Plan Compete for you. So here we have a question from Horvat. Thank you for joining us this evening. Do you have scholarships for architecture? So yes, all the scholarships that Mauricio went over are applicable to all of the degrees that we have gone over this evening. So yes, thank you for your question. We have a question for me, and are your degrees official in the European Union? Yes, all of our degrees are official throughout the European Union, and our degree in architecture and fundamentals of architecture is also accredited within the United Kingdom, the United States of America, as well as Canada, thanks to the NAB and the RIBA accreditations. Great. So we have a question now from Luna. Luna, thank you for being with us this evening. The motivational interview, the responses, should it be more than 10 lines or should it be? I would say I would respond with a minimum of 5 to 6 sentences. You know, we want you to answer each question as detailed and honest as possible. No, we don't need a bachelor's thesis per answer, but just answer each as detailed and honestly as possible. And you should be able to get the job done there. Great. And we have a question again from Jim. Can you please give a little more detail on when you send your high school details for review? So Jim, the application window is currently open and we do encourage you to participate. So tomorrow we will send you your electronic brochure. We will assign you an enrollment advisor like Mauricio, who will guide you through the admissions process. Okay, and they will explain all the different documentation that you will have to submit. They will give you access to your pre-student portal. They will ask for a photocopy of your passport, as well as ask you to fill out the enrollment form. It's all done online. It's all digitalized. It's really easy and straightforward. And if you have any questions, of course, you'll have your dedicated enrollment advisor to guide you through the process. Great. So here we have a question from Jose Manuel. Excuse me, this is a question for my colleague, Jose Manuel, from Jim. After year 1, does the degree in design move into specific areas? And it looks like Jose Manuel has answered that in the live chat. Thank you. And here we have a question from Rosana. She would like to know about the dorms and the rooms here at the university. So like I mentioned, we have 2 dorms here on campus. They're operated by a Belgian company called Zior. They treat our students phenomenally. there is space for 536 students. So here on this campus at Villaviciosa de Odon, there's 15,000 students and about 540 live here on campus. So if you are interested, the application window to apply for a room will open in March. However, you can go ahead and get in contact with them over email or telephone so that they have you on the radar. There are 4 room categories. There's a shared room, which is actually quite large because you would have a roommate, of course. And there are 3 categories of individual rooms: a comfort, a premium, and a deluxe. The comfort room is 14 to 15 square meters, and they go up by about 1 to 2 square meters as you go up in room category. Now, of course, included within the price is room and board, Wi-Fi, security 24/7, and all of your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days a week. Great. So here we have a question from Mohammed. What language is used for the bachelor's degree in marketing? So marketing is one of our degrees that we teach 100% in Spanish and 100% in English. So you can choose. Thank you, Mohammed, for joining us this evening. Mohammed Sharaf. And here we have a question from Heer Sharma. Thank you, Heer. What is the next step for registering a spot? So if you have not initiated the process, we will need a photocopy of your passport, and we will need you to complete your online admissions tests. Don't worry, an enrollment advisor will explain all of that tomorrow when they get in touch with you. Here we have a question from Scott. Scott, thank you for joining us. I only speak English. Do I still have to take the Spanish entrance exam? Yes. If you only speak English, that's okay. You will need a minimum of a B2 level of English in order to study a degree in English. However, as we are a Spanish university, we're located here in the capital city, we simply want to know what your level is. So even if you make an A1 or an A2 on your Spanish test, that's okay. We just simply want to know what level you have as you start your degree. There are a lot of students, Scott, that show up to day 1 here at the university. Like I said, we're 42% international. A lot of students show up to the first day without speaking a word of Spanish. That's okay. We do offer Spanish classes online if you would like to kind of hone your skills a little bit. And of course, through osmosis, by meeting friends and forging friendships with, Spaniards here on campus and living in Madrid, I'm sure that your Spanish will become great here in the next couple of years. So don't worry. Here we have another question from here, Sharma. Are your degrees recognized outside of Europe? So our degrees are recognized throughout the European Union. Architecture is also recognized in the UK, US, and Canada. If you would like to study a master's degree in another country outside of the EU, you will probably have to go through a bureaucratic homologation process as well. So yes, but all of our degrees are accredited throughout the EU. Great question. So here we have a question from my colleague Marisol, who's one of our dedicated enrollment advisors for biomedical and health sciences, from Mateo Fela. Thank you for joining us, Mateo. And he has asked, what level of Spanish is needed for the 3rd and 4th year of physical therapy? So it looks like Marisol has answered that in the live chat. I can answer that as well. We need you to have a B2 level. So students that are studying dentistry, physical therapy, psychology, in order to start your clinical internships, your 2nd to last year, you will need to have a B2 level. But again, you have a couple of years to get up to par. We have Spanish classes offered here online here at our campus, so none to worry. Here we have another question from Rohit. The cost of living in Madrid and Valencia for a student, is it the same? How much should the budget for a foreign student be? Ooh, that's a great question. So the cost of living in Spain is lower comparably to other European nations. Spain does have a really, really great value for money, has a really, really great quality of life. Living on a student budget, you will be able to take part in a lot of different cultural activities as well. So I would rather you ask that question, discuss that with your enrollment advisor tomorrow. We all have different budgets here for personal tastes. I've been a student here. I studied abroad in Spain between my 3rd and 4th year of undergraduate studies. I did my undergraduate studies in the United States. I studied abroad here. It was an amazing experience. And you can get by on a relatively small budget here in Spain, fortunately. So great question. Here we have another question for Marisol. This is from Troy. Thank you for joining us, Troy. Hi, I'm currently applying to the dental degree in the Spanish course, but once I get my degree, can I use it in England? So despite Brexit, currently you can still practice within the United Kingdom. Now, because of Brexit, bureaucratic laws are changing, but currently it is also recognized in the UK. But again, feel free to follow up with that with your dedicated enrollment advisor, who we will assign to you tomorrow. Okay. And here we have a question again from Sharma. I have scored an 8 in my IELTS. Do I still need to take the English test? Yes. That's a great score. Congratulations. But regardless of any previous language certificate that you have, you will need to take the English test, but it'll be easy for you. It's 50 minutes in duration. There's a grammar section, a reading section, and a listening section, and we will score you an A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, or C2, okay? And of course, if you would like to study a degree in English, we need you to make at least a B2 on that test. So great question. And here we have a question from Rohit again. Rohit Sharma, what are the levels and grades in English and Spanish, the minimum and maximum? What are the levels and grades in English and Spanish, the minimum and the maximum? I don't quite understand your question. So if you want to elaborate, I'd be happy to look into that. The grade levels in English and Spanish. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't quite understand your question. And here we have another question from Sharma. Do we have to pay extra for Spanish classes, or is it included in the tuition fee? So yes, it is an additional cost. It's not included within your degree, but we do have a great teaching staff here that offer English and Spanish classes here, and they're done online so that you can fit them into your class schedule as well, and they're phenomenal. So great. But they are not included in the tuition fees. Here is a question from Miriam. Miriam, thank you for joining us this evening. For someone who cannot afford a zero residence, where would you recommend looking for an apartment, and what area around the university? So yes, of course, to live here on campus, the dorms here are quite luxurious, and you also pay for the convenience to live here on campus. There are a lot of options, great options here nearby campus. So if you go on Google right now and you type in Universidad Europea student dorms via Vicioso de Odon, you're going to see probably 9 or 10 or 11 options that will pop up within the town of Villaviciosa de Odon, which is just about 5 minutes away by bus, as well as in the near vicinity to campus. There's Bosque, there's El Tajo, there's Biawem, and they're all great. And they're all probably slightly more economical than our dorms here on campus. However, if you would like to look at a dorm, at a flat, you can look for flats within Villaviciosa de Odon, within Boadilla del Monte. And if you do look for flats within the center of Madrid, I would recommend looking for flats within the Príncipe Pío area, just so that you're close to the bus station, so that you can take the bus 518 directly to campus, or looking in Ciudad Universitaria, Moncloa, or Argüelles, okay? Because there you can catch our own bus, the bus up, that will take you from Moncloa directly to our campus. And you can find a room for, I would say, as low as probably 350 to 400 euros a month if you share a room within a flat with other people. So it's quite economical, the cost of living here in Spain. All right, a lot of great questions. Love to see the interest. Here we have another one from Troy. Lastly, sorry for the bother. You're not bothering at all. That's why you're here. That's why we're here. But in terms of physical health, do you have any on-site gyms or sports centers? So yes, we do have 35,000 square meters of sports facilities here on campus. We have a gymnasium, we have a football field, rock climbing wall, beach volleyball court, 9 tennis courts, 4 paddle courts, 2 swimming pools. 1 is indoor and climatized. So you can become a member of our sports club if you're not studying a sports-related degree, so physical therapy, sports management, or physical activity or sports sciences, and you do not live in the dorms. You can become a member of the sports club for an annual fee of 300 euros or 50 euros a month. So yes, we would love for our students to stay in shape. Studies prove that students that do balance their life as a student as well as an athlete have greater performance academically. So we have a lot of great sports facilities here on campus for you to stay in shape. And we also have a lot of sports clubs as well. We have a basketball club, we have a football club, we have a handball club, rugby club. So there's a lot of ways for you to get involved as well. Here we have a question from Rosanna. Hello. If you take the degree in English, are all the classes in English? And from which countries are the teachers from? So yes, if you study a degree in English, all the classes will be in English. And we have just like our student body, our teaching faculty is extremely international. We have professors from North America, South America, all different kinds of European countries, the UK, Asian professors as well. And for our Spanish professors, if they do teach in English, I can assure you that they have at least a C1 level of English. So their level of English is phenomenal. So great question. And here we have one from Sharma. Do the teachers have, yes, here we go, have a good English accent like yours? Thank you. If they're teaching a certain degree in English. Yes, like I said, we do require that our teaching professors have a minimum of a C1 level, and I can assure you that you will be able to follow the coursework despite any kind of slight accent that they might have. So great question. And I totally understand your curiosity there. So here we have, do you have a dance club? Yes, we do have a dance club. So we have 80 student-led clubs. We're actually the Spanish university with the most amount of student-led clubs in the country. We have a dance club. We have a music club. We have a robotics club. We have an air division club, which launches satellites into space. We have a Formula WIM club, which designs and manufactures a race car that then competes on the national and international level. So it's a great way for you to get involved. Usually around mid-October is when we will host our clubs fair, and all the different clubs will pop up a tent and you can go up and sign up. And if you would like to create your own club, as long as you are a minimum of 5 students, you can write a letter or request or proposal to the Vice Rector of Student Life and propose a club, and they're usually pretty flexible. So great way to get involved. Our student life here on campus is really vibrant. Here we have another question from Rohit. Are there any subsidies for rents for students as it is given in France for 30%? So unfortunately, no, we do not offer any subsidies for rent for students like in France here in Spain. So any more questions? I believe that I've answered all the ones that have come in through the live chat. But again, if you do have any additional questions, you will have your dedicated enrollment advisor that'd be happy to lead you through the admissions process. We have another one in from Troy. If I were not to understand, or if I was falling behind due to the language barrier or certain terminology, how would I be supported? Okay, so Troy, we will assign you, and this goes to all the students connected this evening, we will assign you your very own academic advisor. So starting your first year, you will have an academic advisor who will be a professor from your degree that will kind of be your academic point of contact throughout the degree. So if you are struggling, if you fail a class, or if you really have a hard time on a test, don't hesitate to ask for a tutorial. Our professors have an invested interest in your growth and your success, and you can, don't hesitate to ask for help. We also have a department here on campus that provides, if they notice that you are failing a lot of your classes your first year, they offer resources to help you get on track. Sometimes the transition from high school to university studies can be challenging. It's a different learning methodology. We do have resources here on campus, but you can always rely on your professors and specifically your academic advisor for any academic obstacles. Great. What is the ranking? This is from Scott Shaw. What is the ranking of the university in Spain and Europe? So that depends degree per degree, but I can assure you that we are extremely well positioned on the national and the global level throughout all of our degrees. Our Shanghai and El Mundo ranking has placed a lot of our programs within the top 5 within Spain, within Europe. So it really goes degree by degree. This is a young university. Like I said, we were founded in 1989. We're continuing to grow and innovate every year. But we are really proud of all of our prestigious rankings here at the Universidad Europea. So I can trust assure that your professors will be top-notch. 80% of them are live professionals that balance their life as an academic professor and as a professional within their field. We do want you to learn by doing. So like I said, about 50 to even 60% of all the class hours that you will dedicate to your degree throughout the 4 or 5 years of studies are spent outside of the traditional classroom. And of course, you will complement your studies with curricular internships. So you will actually get that real hands-on approach working with a real professional within your field as you finish up your degree. So our employment rate students is currently at a 90%. So about 90% of our students gain full-time employment within the first year or year and a half upon graduating. So we're really, really proud of that because that's well above average here at other Spanish universities. All right, so here's another question from Rohit. How many students in class, the first, second, third, and last year approximately? How many students in class? I'm not quite understanding your question. I'm not sure if you're referring to the retention rate. We have a very low retention rate. And like I said, a lot of students end up transferring from other universities to come to our university. But if your question adheres more to the student-professor ratio, for a theoretical class, you will never be more than 40 students per class, per teacher. And in the more practical kind of hands-on classes, like in the simulated hospital or within the International Relations Observatory, it's typically smaller groups, usually 20 to 25 students per professor. So this is a question from Heer Sharma. What facilities do international students enjoy with their student card? Like discount on transport costs and what else? You don't need a discount from us from transport costs. The Spanish government has passed a lot of laws recently that have greatly reduced the cost of transportation for anybody under the age of 25. Very, very, very low cost for transportation card. You're going to have a card and you're going to be able to use that card on a regional train, on a metro, or on a bus to get anywhere throughout the community of Madrid. And you can also go to Toledo, which is not located in Madrid, but in the region of Castilla-La Mancha. So we don't offer any subsidiaries for transportation, but you don't need it from us because the Spanish government has stepped in and has lowered the cost of transportation for those under the age of 25. Here we have a question from Rohit. Is there accommodation on campus or near the university? Yes. So like I mentioned before, we have 2 on-campus dormitories, Velasquez and Zior, and your enrollment advisor would be happy to send that information to you over email. So 2 on-campus dormitories. Another question from Scott. Can you get in with 1 year of A levels? With 1 year of A levels. So that's more of a specific question that I would love for you to ask your designated enrollment advisor, because I'm not sure of which degree you're referring to, and that's a great question for your enrollment advisor who will guide you through the entire process. So it looks like no more questions have rolled in through the live chat. Here we go. We've got one more. Rohit Sharma. If a student fails in a subject, does he have to repeat next year, or will he continue the year while doing the failed subject? So if you do fail a subject, in order to graduate, you will need to have that credit approved. So yes, you would have to repeat that subject the next year. However, in Spain, they do have this concept, which does not exist in the United States, where I did my undergraduate studies, of what we call in Spanish recuperaciones, so recuperation. So if you were to fail end of year test at the end of the end of semester, you do have the opportunity to try again, to do a recuperación that are usually take place within the 2 to 3 weeks following the end of each semester. So great question, Rohit. No more questions. So that has been a very, very vibrant Q&A session. Thank you again for all of your questions, and thank you to our colleagues that have answered those on the live chat. Students and families attending this evening, as I mentioned at the beginning of this event, choosing a degree and a university is without doubt one of the most difficult decisions a young person has to make. Therefore, it is my recommendation and sincere wish that you research in detail a wide range of universities, that you take a look at their 4-year or 5-year curriculum, that you evaluate their professors and on-campus facilities, that you take into account the internship offerings, that you explore the various extracurricular activities at hand. Because those of us that are a bit older than you can all agree that your university years is perhaps one of the most rewarding and exciting chapters in a young person's life. So, if you do envision yourself studying through project-based learning, gaining real experience in a professional setting, participating in clubs and sports teams, and cultivating lifelong friendships with classmates from all around the world, perhaps the Universidad Europea de Madrid is the right fit for you. As I mentioned before, there is currently a 50% discount in the reservation fee if you carry out the admissions process this month of November and the next month of December, with the exclusion of our bachelor's degree in dentistry. And I do encourage that you all participate in the enrollment and the admissions process. Our next open house on-campus open house event is scheduled for the 20th of January of 2024. And it would be a pleasure to welcome you all to our state-of-the-art campus in person. On behalf of the university, thank you so much for connecting with us this evening. Thank you to my team within the admissions department, to David, Estefania, Elena, Jose, Marisol, and Mauricio, as well as to the technicians and production team for making this event a reality. And of course, a very special thank you to all interested students and families for your participation in this open house event. Classes will start in September of 2024, and we do hope to see you all around campus. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Good evening and buenas noches.